thinking about this. We've had, obviously, talking about Draymond Green, ejected. He had his guys back. He always does. We know that. But anyway, we'll find out if he gets suspended. And there has been a lot of people that they ride or die with Draymond Green. They need his energy. He's tough. This, that, and the other thing. I got a question for all you ride or die with Draymond guys. I'll give you tough player. But I got a question for you guys. Why is he so scared to play when Steph isn't on the floor? Why is this a theme? Why did Rudy Gobert, after the game, say, well, we knew once Steph was out that Draymond was probably gonna not want to play? What's that all about?
Again.
Hello?
Yeah. No, it's how he feels.
I want somebody to tell me.
I can't.
What that's about.
I can't.
Okay.
He's going on what he knows. He's going on the 15-win season where Dray said and then we heard Dray last year on his podcast. He don't get fired up for a game in November, blah, blah, blah. But last night wasn't about premeditation. It wasn't about no Steph Curry.
Let's go to Drunk McGill. He back. Maybe.
Hey, I'm back.
All right.
Ride or D-I-E.
With Draymond?
That's Money Green. That's the dog.
Hey, how come he's so tough, but he's afraid to play when Steph Curry doesn't play? Well, it's almost like he thinks he's going to be revealed.
Or it also makes sense. Like, that's probably when he's most effective. So, all right, I'm out. Let all the young guys just learn it. And then, because right now, all they're doing is getting chemistry, and they almost won. Like, do you think they're horrible? Like, the Timberwolves are pretty good.
No, you're right.
Get smacked yesterday.
No, you're right. You're right.
I don't know. I'm just thinking. So how about this? Like, OKC, we got 2 games. Are we going to get blown out those 2 games? I don't really. Like, what do you guys think? I don't think you get blown out. That was pretty nice yesterday. I started the game from my couch. And I got fired up, and I went to the game.
But how do you not get blown out tomorrow? You got Shea coming in here with those trees length. You beat them and broke their heart last time with the Curry. Tomorrow might get ugly. And, Pod, I'm rooting for you. But I'm rooting for the whole team, man. It ain't right. Something's foul. Something's off. And it's more than just their shots. Something is off.
510. He did the right thing. We ride together.
Ride with me?
Ride with that 6-8 Warrior team.
They're 6-6.
Yeah. Well, I got to play the next 2 games without Steph probably and maybe the other guy.
Yeah.
Let's see. Dray and Clay. Dray is a bad guy. Trade Dray. Draymond was in the right. Positives. Let's go to Matt in Oakland. He wants to talk about positives. I'll do that. What's up, Matt?
Hey, fellas.
Hey.
How we doing?
Good.
All right. I know y'all got a show to sell, and that's cool, but there is an intermediate perspective on Draymond between loving him and hating him.
Yeah, that's true.
But let's start with the good stuff.
All right.
It's game 12, so there are 70 more games. They got to win 40 of those games to get a decent spot, and my goal still remains, I think, still quite possible, losing to Denver in the Western Conference Finals. I say that at least at game 12, this is the best set of rookies we've had since HB and Festus and Draymond came on the scene. I'm just so impressed by these kids. Are they enough to turn the season around? I don't know. Then on to Clay. If this guy isn't uncoachable, I think his problems are pretty easy to solve. If you did a graph between the number of dribbles and his shooting percentage, when 0 is his best with 1, and then once he starts trying to be a playmaker, it just drops precipitously. I just wish somebody would tell him, crash the boards, but just for God's sake, stop dribbling, pass the ball, and move. And then I think he's going to be fine. That's the good stuff.
All right, Matt.
Give him the bad stuff. I was about to say the bad stuff.
I thought he just paused.
Go ahead, baby.
Okay.
We got an
Clay
hour.
should have never gotten. Yeah, Clay should have never gotten tossed. That was baloney.
Yeah.
I think that Draymond absolutely deserved to get tossed. Is he over the top? Yes. The nonsense about him not wanting to play with Curry, that's just silly. And I think is it McDaniels? He should have gotten tossed too. So they should have had double T's on Clay and Gobert and then throw out Draymond and the other guy. But they didn't do that. But guess what? As they say, chaos is a ladder. And looks like those rookies climbed up that ladder. And I'm very excited. I don't think things are dire.
All right.
Or he can be out a couple of games, so what? And, Wiggins, that's another story, but let's leave that for another time.
Good stuff, Matt. I appreciate it. And while you were talking, I wanted to try to summarize in my own way the positives that at least I've talked about through 12 games. And, Klay Thompson, before last night, he had 2 bad shooting games, 2 5-for-16s. But I thought before that, he had great intentions. I think he's been playing with a great approach this year. I've said that. I mean, I know he's not making as many shots as he usually does. I know he's lost a step, and I know he's struggling defensively against a lot of bigger players, but to my way of thinking, he's bought in, he's trying. So he's been a positive as far as I'm concerned. Obviously, Podziemski last night, maybe we got a player here. Steph's been great. I think at times we've seen how Chris Paul can work. I think there's times when we saw how Chris Paul, some of the challenges with Chris Paul. But for the most part, there's been, you can see how he can help this team if they can fit him into a nice role. So it's not like Wiggins has been terrible, but it's not like the season hasn't been without positives. But here we are again. That's all I'm saying, Goo. Talking about Dray.
Yeah. And I'm not talking about Dray. I'm worried about the infrastructure of this team and this roster. And it was good early on. I was all in, and now I'm scared as hell. And you're telling me we don't know how long Curry's going to be out, but it's already something in the file with an older, good player in his prime, hurt early for whatever reason. He's out. You got the Draymond debacle. He's going to be suspended. And if that caller is calling in to tell me you're excited about rookies, which I am, but it's too early for this. This was supposed to be about Wiggins. This was supposed to be Kuminga's jump year. This was supposed to be about Chris Paul. And now this team all of a sudden can't shoot and defend. And
well, not all of a sudden defend.
It's eroding.
Right, but they've never defended.
But Wiggins used to defend.
Well,
I'm watching
2
him
years
now.
ago.
Well,
is what I'm saying. Obviously, they defended well during their championship year when the chips were down.
33% from deep last night. That's what this team is. They shoot.
You do realize
they don't post any. They don't do nothing but shoot. And now through 12 games,
but let me guess,
they're in the outhouse.
Let me guess, they're getting great looks, right? They're getting great looks. Like the looks aren't as good. They're a split second. More contested.
Chris Paul look. I'm just starting there. His looks have been fine.
Yeah, and he doesn't make them. You know why?
He's 38.
All right. How many shots has Klay? What's Klay's biggest miss? How does he miss most? Sure.
Yeah. Okay. No doubt about it. Regardless of where is he at now? When he has it going. All right. I'll tell you what. Jonathan Kuminga. He would not, if Draymond's out for a couple of days, I'm going to Saric or I'm going to Jackson Davis. They're going to start before Kuminga. How about that?
Okay.
Because last night was unacceptable. And you were 2 or 3 from the field. What are you doing to where your coach does not say you need to play more than 16 minutes?
He's not good enough.
Well, you got a problem if that's I'm yelling. I'm yelling at myself.
I know you are. But you're yelling at yourself because you thought things that may not have been true. Like Kuminga.
Did you see him in preseason?
I don't care. I don't dislike Kuminga at all. In fact,
why is he not taking that next step? This is a big deal.
Dude, I've said this before too. It's not easy to play with 3 legends. It's not. I want to get this one in.
Yeah, because I ain't celebrating 6 and 6.
Who cares what Rudy Gobert says or thinks? This is from 650. You have to be pretty naive to think there's any truth to Draymond not wanting to play when Steph's not there. I think there's something to it. Absolutely. Absolutely.
You think he
okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you something. No, and it's not necessarily a bad thing.
Yeah.
Draymond Green knows that without Steph Curry, he is not nearly the player that he is with Steph Curry. And maybe I'm wrong.
I hope you are,
Maybe
man.
I'm wrong. But one of the reasons I think Draymond took what he took and stayed here for 4 years is because, and again, not necessarily a bad thing, he was going to have to go into a whole new role with whole new team, and there's risk in that.
Wow, he said risk.
Let's go to John. John's in Michigan. What's up, John? How you doing, man?
I'm doing good. Hey, guys.
Hey.
Right.
Listen, a couple things. Hey, how's it going? I think Draymond, I don't agree with the premise that we couldn't have won past championships without Draymond. If we would have had a serviceable power forward, first of all, in 2022, he got benched. I think Looney was better. And you're telling me that Curry and Kevin Durant couldn't have won a couple titles with a pretty good power forward like someone like Nas Reed? I mean, I disagree with that.
Okay.
So, and secondly, I think the big problem with Draymond has to do with Steve Kerr. They lack, he's never been disciplined. He punches Jordan Poole. He gets away with it. He kicks LeBron, you know where.
Yep.
He gets away with it, costs us the title. And so he just keeps doing what he keeps doing. And another thing is, how come Wiggins is the only one? I mean, Wiggins has been awful. He's something is up with him since whatever reason he left last year, in my opinion. I don't know what it is, but he's been horrible. But they punish him. He's only playing 15, 20 minutes. Why is Clay playing so much? Like, why is Kerr scared to say, hey, Moody gets to take some of these minutes? Because, Clay, you're just
It's
not
loyalty
good right now.
It's
like,
loyalty. Clay's earned that, and I get it. Yeah.
But they need to, but the Niners, they weren't loyal to Joe Montana, and what they do, they won a Super Bowl with Steve Young. So at some point, you got to move on, and these guys got to be tough enough to realize that they're Manu Ginobili now, and they got to be able to take on that role. And Draymond, he just wants to feel important, and he can't be important with his play anymore. So he's got to be important with his big mouth and his actions. And, that's why he's buddy-buddy with LeBron James, because he's got to feel important. So that's just my take.
Appreciate the call, John.
I was interested in the part of that. But the Clay part's, Donnie, he's a Don. And they're going to watch him play this out. And
Steve Kerr said that. I don't know if it was last year or the year before. They said something about Clay. He's like, no chance. Clay's not coming off the bench.
No doubt. And I get it. That's riding till the wheels fall off, Stoney. This is what we're in.
That's right. That's the deal. That's the deal you made with Steve Kerr. When you have Steve Kerr coach, he's going to play the big boys. He's going to lean veteran rather than youth.
No doubt.
He may lean small rather than big. Probably will. So, again, he's been a champion as a player. He's now been a champion as a coach. Yes, the veterans are all that matter. Well, not all that matter, but they're the most important thing to him. The veterans and being, because they've proven they can win with those guys, and that's all he knows. So,
because if you were to get him with some truth serum off the record, he would tell you he knows Clay has slipped.
Like in a way,
he knows his play has.
Of course.
He's there every
Does
night.
anybody really think Steve Kerr's not worried about Wiggins?
Okay.
I mean, how can you not be?